Hi, this is Magda from the Wnętrza channel. This time I'll take you shopping and we'll check out what cool things we can find in chain stores right now. We're starting with Tiger, which may not be a typical home decor store, but it definitely doesn't lack home accessories. What's more, the prices here are almost suspiciously low. At Tiger, there's a wide selection of colorful candles. You can put together a colorful set. Stamps are useful, among other things, for decorating holiday gifts, and I highly recommend this booklet. At the end, there are lots of stickers with different facial features. My children created fantastic characters and it was great fun. I had a similar stand when I was a teenager, but when I hung all my earrings on it, it looked too chaotic even for me. They got dusty, so it wasn't very practical. I used to dream of having a felt ball rug like that, just with a more color-coordinated set. Today I feel like I wouldn't find any reasonable use for it at home. It's just too thick. Now it's time for Zara Home, which actually is a home store. It's supposed to focus on interiors, but it's still a clothing brand. Interiors often feel like an afterthought. Inside, the style is completely different than at Tiger. It's definitely more serious and more elegant. Fans of muted colors will feel at home here. Zara Home brings a touch of luxury at prices that are accessible to the average person. Ceramics look like they're from a local artisan, but they're 2 or 3 times cheaper. Colorful glass is one of my biggest weaknesses. Isn't it beautiful? But glasses like these aren't really useful in my house because I don't drink alcohol. At all. Never. So if anything, I prefer glasses that can be used for water. The texture of this glass is interesting. And these are interesting too. The light refracts beautifully. Or these kinds of glasses. You see, they're not just plain transparent. Lovely color. And these tablecloths? Very pleasant to the touch. I see that tablecloths with holes, which for a long time were considered old-fashioned, are coming back. And I haven't seen them anywhere, not in regular chain stores. These frames are great for framing non-standard sizes. A heart-shaped picture from a child. A dried flower from vacation. If it's hard to find the right frame for something, check out these glass-fronted frames because they might be the solution. The look of our interiors is greatly influenced by ordinary everyday items that we use regularly and that are often in plain sight. Brushes, cloths, dish sponges, spray bottles. It's great when we can choose something subtle that won't distract from the real decorations. These spray bottles are made of glass. I once bought a similar one for whiskey, but it was plastic, so maybe a bit more practical in that sense, because I'm not afraid to put it down a bit more energetically. Zara Home has a wide selection of these aesthetic home accessories and cosmetics, so if you're looking for something like that, it's worth checking here. I really like that more and more stores are giving up packaging bedding in plastic. Thanks to this, we can immediately feel if the material suits us, and you have to wash new bedding before using it anyway, so there's no problem if it got a bit dusty in the store. Now, Homla. At first, there's a beautiful display with stunning colors, but I'm afraid that on camera it won't look as impressive, so let's take a closer look at the individual items. First up, of course, is the colorful glassware. The orange vase is wonderful, although I think if it were a bit bigger, it would be more versatile. For example, it could also be used for tulips. Here too there's orange, but only on the handle. It's just wonderful. I have to say you can kind of tell that this isn't a picture for 300 but only 380s Lotus. There's something about this glass, I don't know what it is, but it's still beautiful. I really like it. We're still going with the orange vibe, and look, even a simple flower pot that has a subtle texture or some kind of pattern immediately looks much more interesting. I can't get over these colors, they're so beautiful that I'd like to have them all. But once I was tempted by a plate here, and then at home I realized that I actually prefer my Bolesławiec pottery, so now I'm more careful. Vases with a hole like this are a real hit lately. I admit they look great, I just don't know how to clean them inside, but they could be perfect for dried flowers. A round mirror, simple, pretty, and at a good price. And here's a very good price for gold cutlery. I remember when I first started blogging, cutlery in different colors started to appear. Now gold ones aren't as trendy as they were 10 years ago. Back then it was wow, and now they're still wow, but now we know that durability can vary. When the gold wears off, they're not as nice. If you have them, let me know in the comments how they're holding up. And it's nice that other colors are available too, although I'm still waiting for a full palette of colors. Here, besides cutlery, we also have other kitchen accessories in gold. They really look nice. I love gold. It's just a pity that you can't wash them in the dishwasher. That's definitely a big downside. A banana case. Does it make sense? After all, bananas have thick skin and you can easily just toss them loose into your bag. They come in various sizes and curves. I don't really appreciate this idea. Just look. With boxes, even though some of them are so cute and adorable, I prefer my square ones from IKEA. I have a lot of them. I put one inside another, which makes them easier to store. They're good for both school and the fridge. Some are plastic, some are glass, and it's great. And when I have boxes in different sizes, it's hard to store them in a sensible way. Plus, each one has a different lid, and either they're closed and take up a lot of space, or the lids are separate, and then it's hard to find the right one. So now I don't experiment anymore. I'm loyal to the 365 Plus series and I only buy ones that fit with the ones I already have. This bedding has a nice pattern. I like these dark ones with botanical motifs. And what a bargain price. Lately I've been sighing over the blueberry-colored Homla brand. I feel like it would look great at my place, but it was more than 5 times more expensive than this one. So I still need to think it over. Do I really need new bedding? It's not such a spontaneous expense. How is it possible that these candles are so cheap? I'm shocked because I also have candles in my own store. And for a wholesale order from a manufacturer in Poland, I paid much more for a single piece. It's true that our candles are bigger, soy-based, and have a stronger scent, so it's not just that I overpaid. Price often goes hand in hand with quality. Not always. But often it does. Nevertheless, this price is suspiciously low. Now we're already at H&M Home, or Agent Home if you prefer. Lately I've been coming across dishes with this kind of rough texture more and more often. It looks interesting. But I can't shake the feeling that over time it will get dirty. And there's no way I'll be able to clean it properly. And besides, I don't like things that feel unpleasant to the touch. Touch is a very important sense for me. These are already more pleasant, although they're also rough. When creating beautiful compositions in interiors, it's good to use contrasts and opposites. Something soft and something rough. Something simple and something quirky. A patterned pillow and a plain pillow. Such combinations often look good. Now there's clearly a trend for more original shapes and textures. But don't forget about simple classic decorations, because they can actually be a good complement to your arrangement. And pay attention to the quality of the products. Actually, in each of these popular stores, you can buy something great, timeless, and at a bargain price, as well as something that won't stay appealing for long, will get damaged easily, and isn't worth its price at all. This is interesting, very nice, beautiful colors, delicate form. At first I didn't know what it was, like a little vase, a decoration. And only the label made me realize that it's a candle holder. Here we also have a vase with a hole. I told you they're really trendy now. This one is really pretty. It's a bigger size. It would look beautiful in the interior. The smaller ones are cheaper, more accessible, but it's harder to display them nicely. At H&M Home, decorations for styling apartments during photo shoots are very often bought. To the extent that actually it's very rare not to have anything from here. Those big vases with a hole, those golden candle holders, all of these are very photogenic items. Interestingly, the candles at H&M Home are made in Poland. Not all of them, of course, but the tall ones are. I didn't expect that. And look, the price here is already noticeably higher than before. At H&M Home, you can also find some nice accessories for a children's room. If you like that soft color palette like in the rooms you see on Instagram or Pinterest, then look here. There are rugs in muted colors, but they're still children's rugs, and they have really nice patterns like streets, cars, and some animals. A toy basket like this is a cute little house on one side, but on the other hand, it's still a basket, not some bright plastic container pretending to be a race car from a cartoon. There are generally more baskets and containers here, also for adults, and they're very aesthetically pleasing. And I really like the color yellow, but this shade is definitely not for me. It's a different story with these glasses. Colored glass is so lovely. Do you feel the same way? Or is it just me going through a phase? I can't stop admiring it. The green pitcher is lovely and those glasses match it perfectly. Although a pitcher like that could just as well be a vase. And now look at this, orange glasses. I've been looking for these for years. Because my dad has his favorite orange glass. He used to have two, but when I was little, one broke. So when I got older, I started looking for a similar one. That would be the best gift for Dad, because Dad really only drinks tea in that orange glass. But there wasn't one like that anywhere. Once I even filmed a house that had a whole set made of that thick orange glass. But it just didn't have that tall glass. And only recently did I manage to find a very similar one on Allegro. It was blue, a lovely shade, and I looked at the options. And there was an orange one too. I wasn't sure if it was similar enough, but it turned out it's really close. It just doesn't quite match the saucers, but overall it worked out. After years of there being nothing on the market, orange glass is clearly coming back into favor, because lately I come across it more and more often, and there's a growing variety of shapes in this color. And if you've come across a glass identical to my dad's, let me know. Here's a beautiful golden watering can. It really looks lovely. But look, there are already some rust spots inside. I expect that it won't be suitable for holding water in the long run, unless you like watering your plants with brown liquid. I once got fooled by a watering can like that too. I don't know how you can overlook such an aspect in a watering can. Leaky vases labeled as for decoration only get me just as much. Seriously? That's ridiculous. And finally, a Duka. And right away, my attention was drawn to these. It's not exactly my style, but I really appreciate them. The colors are great. Here's an interesting sticker. 100 porcelain. Have you ever seen 50 porcelain? Because I don't recall seeing it. I asked the lady at the checkout what it was about, but she didn't know either. I guess it's just porcelain, and they added 100 because it looks good. But if you know something that can be called 80% porcelain, let me know. I'd love to broaden my knowledge of the world. These cups with golden handles are wonderful. I've been admiring them for a long time. And these solid colored ones, I think I like them even more than the blue patterned ones. I like that in Duka the collections don't change as quickly as in other stores. And what's here? Colorful glass again. The glasses have this pattern which I'm not really a fan of, but the picture, it's kind of suspiciously light. Well, I didn't expect that. This is a plastic pitcher. But that's actually a good idea because it's much lighter and more durable, and with this size that really matters, and it looks great. At the checkout I found individual pieces of cutlery. That's also a great thing. You can buy exactly what you need the most. And you can experiment with different colors without having to buy a whole big set right away. You're probably wondering what I decided to buy, and the answer is nothing, because I don't need anything right now. And just because there are nice things available in stores, doesn't mean I have to have them. I also encourage you to shop thoughtfully, because the products you like will probably still be available tomorrow and next week. So you have time to sleep on your decision. And now I'm saying goodbye to you. I encourage you to subscribe to the channel, and I hope we'll see each other again soon. Bye.